By popular request, I've decided to rank every mod I use in my playthrough into a tier list. The first mod I want to talk about is the mod that this entire series revolves around. This is what the combat update should be like. This is the Souls-like combat Mojang couldn't deliver. This is Epic Fight. Let me show you how your experience will change after installing this mod. Let's say you start a new world after installing Epic Fight. The first thing you'll notice about the combat is that most enemies have different attack patterns, and so do you. You initiate combat, but you can't dodge, block or parry yet. As you keep exploring, you'll come across skill books that when used unlock new passive or active abilities. As you get used to this style of combat and your new skills, you'll start seeking more dangerous challenges, confident in your abilities. You'll start to discover new weapons to try out, craft and experiment with as you journey through the world. It's a whole new way to experience Minecraft, and for that, I'm giving this mod the highest rank on this list. This is a game changer. Now, let's make it better by pairing it with the combat roll. This gives you the roll ability right after you install it. You can do what I've done and bind it to the same key as the Epic Fight dodge. This makes you much more agile since you can configure this to roll mid-air faster and further away, helping you dodge crowds of mobs and even large area of effect, damage or charge towards your foes. I rank this mod as an improvement because it works well with this mod, but it can also work well as a standalone mod. Now, let's further improve the combat with another mod, Weapons of Miracles. This mod takes everything you love about combat and cranks it up to 11. More weapons, more skills, more armor sets, and let's not forget the unique weapons with their own distinct fighting styles. This isn't just a mod add-on. It's the next level. The skills are next level. The unique weapons are absolutely spectacular. Don't get me wrong, Epic Fight by itself, it's amazing. But this mod turns it into something legendary. When you finally master one of those unique weapons, you turn from a survivor to an executioner, stalking the battlefield, looking for prey. With the right gear and skills, you become the most dangerous creature in that world. No matter the dimension, when you are there, it's everyone else that's in danger. So for that, I'm going to put this add-on of a mod right next to the Epic Fight. It's a game changer within a game changer. And speaking of Epic Fight, let's say you download a mod that's not compatible, meaning the cool new weapon from said mod doesn't have the cool fighting style. What then? Well, the mod creator thought about that as well, can you believe it? Let me show you how you can add and even modify any weapon you want. Open the Mods tab, search Epic Fight, open the configuration and select Data Pack Editor. In the Item Capability tab, click the plus sign and search what item you want to modify. That's right, it doesn't even need to be a weapon, it can be any item. Now go to the item type and click Weapon. Select the weapon type. There you can select from all of the Epic Fight and all Weapons of Miracles animations. Next, just choose the same collider as the weapon. This only affects the range of the weapon. After that, just hit export, name it, and the data pack will be created in your resource pack folder. From there, you can copy it to the data pack of the world you are playing in, relog and have fun. Now for something more peaceful. Farmer's Delight is a mod that makes you like farming, whether you want it or not. But that's not the reason I installed it. I installed this because of the food buffs. Stackable milk bottles, chocolate milk that removes only debuffs, superior foods that keep you satiated for longer or make you regenerate health faster, and many others. Not to mention that they also upgraded farming with new types of soil. It also adds a lot of new decorative and functional blocks. Whether you like to farm, build or adventure, this mod has something for all of you. It's also quite intuitive and easy to understand thanks to the achievements. I consider this mod to be a complete improvement over what the base game offers, not just an expansion. And if you are like me, dead set on not digging in the mud, you can install Chef's Delight, which adds 2 new professions that allow you to trade with villagers for those high level foods. And speaking of trading with villagers, if you find that annoying, I have another quality of life mod for you. Behold, easy villager trading. You can put them in your inventory and place them in a box on the ground, making their trades available from anywhere. Speaking of inventory, it's probably filled to the brim with all those new items. Let's fix it. First, I'll be dumping all of my items into this chest right here. Now, let's sort it and grab only what I need. I've gotten so used to this I keep forgetting it's a mod. This is the inventory profile next, and it's going to save you hours of searching through chests. But my inventory is still kinda crowded, so here's another mod that needs to be in the base game. Inventorio. You have a tool belt where items are chosen automatically for whatever you need to break, a utility belt where you can put anything you want and it will appear in your offhand. You can easily scroll through it. It's like having 2 hotbars. Now, before I showcase the last 2 inventory mods, let's quickly go over the heads-up display mods. Jade is the mod that gives me additional information about everything in front of me, how much health and armor a mob has, what block am I looking at, how long it will take to break, what's in that chest, and so on. Quality of life. Just enough items is useful to find out more about all the modded items the base game doesn't show you. I can even toggle it to be a creative inventory. Just enough resources reveals where I can get a certain item, if it's tradable or lootable. Tweakerge is the forged version of Tweakeroo. I use it to quickly spectate my surroundings. It has so much more options and it's so customizable, but that's the only thing I use it for. AppleSkin adds various food-related HUD improvements, like how much hunger and saturation an item restores, and how much energy an action consumes. So this is just a small quality of life mod that is nice to have. Better advancements makes it so I can actually see the advancements. Yeah, quality of life. BoccHUD is the forge version of MiniHUD. I use this mod to display the day counter and FPS in my top left corner, but it's much more versatile than that. It can show you everything that the F3 menu shows you, and you can toggle it on or off individually or all together. It's highly customizable. Now, let's fix the inventory problem once and for all. Behold, Tom's simple storage. The chest monster slayer. Let's say you have a chest monster in your world. How would this mod slay it exactly? Well, let me show you. First of all, you'll need to craft an inventory connector. Here are the crafting requirements. As you can see, I have connected all of those chests right here, but that doesn't help me at all. Yet. In order to access and sort all of those items at once, I need to craft a storage terminal. As you can see, the item requirements are not that crazy. You'll have those items around at the same time you'll start developing those chest monsters. Now just crouch place the terminal on the connector and behold, sortable, stackable, searchable, expandable, in a single word, perfection. And the craziness doesn't even stop here. You can make a crafting terminal that adds a 3x3 crafting grid inside the storage interface. It's incredible how many problems this mod solves, and it's not done solving problems. Oh no, you can craft a wireless terminal for your inventory that gives you access to your storage system from a distance of 16 blocks if you have a line of sight to the terminal. And if you think that's lame, keep in mind that you can do all of this with mid-tier items. If you want more, you'll need to get the end game items. That's right, there's more. At the smithing table, the wireless terminal can be infused with netherite to upgrade it further. This advanced version needs to be bound by crouch placing it on the terminal because it gives you access to your storage system without even looking at it. Now, your mind has probably been blown so many times already that you think there's nothing more that can impress you about this mod. Wrong. Let's start configuring this mod so it will only require a single beacon block in order to give you interdimensional unlimited access. It will still give you all of those things if you leave it as is, but I don't want to build a max level beacon near my storage system. I want the system to be the star of the show. Here it is, the last piece of the puzzle. This inventory mode sends you on a quest to slay the Wither to use its heart to boost the signal to interdimensional infinities. Your storage system has a story arc of evolution. Now, keep in mind, in order for all of this to actually work, you need to have those chunks loaded. So you have to build a chunk loader, which I have no idea how to do. But I know the spawn chunks are always loaded. So either build a storage system at the center of your world, or move the center of your world to the storage system. Behold the power that this mod gives you. I can put this entire island in my pocket if I want to. I no longer need to manage my inventory or place crafting tables. I don't even need to keep the remote in my hotbar. I can access it just by pressing a key. No more back and forward trips or searching through shulkers, barrels or ender chests. This is peak Minecraft. This is a game changer. Now that's all well and good, but this mod covers only the mid and end part of the game. What about the early game? Fear not, I have a mod for that as well. Bag of Holding by Fuzz. This is one of the mods that fixes the inventory problem in the early part of the game. By being easy to craft and customizable, I made this item better than a shulker and useful even in the endgame, because it can hold a bunch of items that I use often. However, I'm not going to rate this mod yet. I'm going through all of the mods I use from this creator and I will rate them together. Air Hop. It fixes the movement, allowing you to jump up to 5 times in the air, 1 time for each level. And you'd be correct to assume that this will save you from a fall. Also, it's looking less ridiculous than swimming upstream from a water source you've created with a bucket. And as you can see here, it is quite configurable. Better Tridents by Fuzz. I don't really use Tridents, but when I use them, I want them to have those options. Armor Statues by Fuzz gives you more option when it comes to armor stands, like equipping it with a shield, sword, tools, changing its name, and make it strike a pose. This mode is perfect if you like to display or retire your armor sets, make a museum with the old sets, and reminisce about past adventures. Now, the next 3 mods change the way you enchant items. While Tons of Enchants is not made by Fuzz, I'm still going to include it in here. I have configured the Enchanting Infuser to be the only thing you need when you have levels to spend. It has every enchantment, even the modded ones from Tons of Enchants. Every enchantment costs 1 level, requires no bookshelves, can repair items, individually disenchant items, and because of the universal enchants, you can combine any vanilla enchantment like Infinity with Mending. Even individually, those mods can improve your experience, but together it elevates it. We fixed the combat. We fixed the inventory. What else is left to fix? I wonder, what else do people keep asking Mojang to fix over and over, but their cries are in the void, unanswered? I think we've reached the end. Wait a minute. Stellarity. If I had to sum it up in one sentence, the endgame now has an endgame. But I don't have to do that, so here's the gist of it. The first major change this mod brings is a complete overhaul of the stronghold. It's no longer just a quiet, forgotten ruin. Now it's a dangerous, fortified structure inhabited by pillagers. Getting through them won't be easy, but you'll be rewarded with unique loot and powerful items, making every battle feel rewarding and satisfying. Then there's the End Island. It was made to look like an ancient battlefield that has seen countless battles. And by the looks of it, the pillagers beat you to it. You'll have to summon the dragon with End Crystals, and when you slay it, only then the quest to conquer the End will begin. Using the achievements and the book from the Altar of the Accursed, you will start to unravel mysteries and discover the secrets that this mod has to offer. Now you are probably thinking, this data pack puts the Nether update to shame. Fear not, Nether will receive the same treatment. Behold, Incendium. This mod introduces new biomes with distinct characteristics that sets them apart from the vanilla biomes and from each other. And yes, you'd be right to assume there's more. Of course there's more! There are biome-themed endgame mega structures that, besides providing a significant increase in difficulty, also tie in with the new quests and lore, making the Nether feel coherent and complete. Exploring the Incendium Nether and completing its achievements will reward you with unique items. I will leave it up to you to discover everything this mod has to offer. As for the rating, undisputable game changer. We've improved the end, we've improved the Nether, but now we have a problem. Now we need to improve the Overworld. And of course, I have saved the best for last. The Overworld is one of the most modded of the dimensions, which means it's easy to overdo and mess things up. Luckily, I am here to prevent you from doing that. Let's start by changing the environment, the biomes. This mod adds a total of 0 new biomes, and this is why I've chosen this overhauling mod over every other overhauling mod that's out there. Any mod that generates structures is made to generate those structures only for the vanilla biomes, in order to work as a standalone. Water is wet, I know. But this means overhauling mods that add new biomes push further away all the structures, making them scarce, scattered. Wythers Overhauled Overworld only transforms the existing biomes without adding new ones, which means your overworld will be loaded with structures, which is exactly what I want. And for this reason, Wythers Overhauled Overworld is a game changer because it enables you to make your Minecraft world feel alive. With all those sites to visit, I believe I've established that this world will be focused on adventuring, on exploring. So let's fix the exploration before we proceed further. Elytra speed nerf. With this mod, I've configured the speed of Elytra to be half of what it used to be. In my case, this makes the Elytra usable because its default speed was faster than I could generate chunks. This mod adds to the quality of life by enabling me to actually use it. But what about the early game? Paragliders. Easy to craft and highly configurable. I removed the stamina consumption, increased the glide speed, and added water and lava as wind sources, which means when I'm over water or lava, I start ascending, allowing me to traverse over vast distances of oceans. I also made it work with Epic Fight mode by disabling Epic Fight custom animations when using it. Overall, this mod is a complete improvement over the exploration system. Now, let's improve it further with Xaero's map and minimap. I use the minimap mostly to find mobs and get a general sense of where I'm at. Now the map, that's a work of art. I can save locations of interest and even fast travel to any place I have previously discovered, just like in Skyrim and many other modern games I've gotten used to. So for enabling all of those abilities, I rate this mod an absolute improvement. Now, it has been established that the overworld is perfected for lots and lots of structures. Let's get to them. These structures add so many amazing structures, you'll want to conquer and claim them as your own. It's definitely one of the mods that makes Minecraft less apocalyptic with its abundance of structures. You no longer feel like a remnant of a lost civilization, you feel like an adventurer always finding new buildings to explore. Castle Pillager Castle. This is one of the smaller structure mods because it only adds this castle, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Prepare for a battle more vigorous than the usual raid because, in this case, you are the raider. And the villagers are on their home turf, fighting to protect their base, their king, and their life. It's a nice change to stumble upon, and I believe this mod, overall, it's an improvement to your game. Speaking of villagers, the next mod improves both the mansion and the outpost. But that's not why I've downloaded this mod. Luki's Grand Capitals also improve every village in the game, making your world feel, well, normal. The vanilla villages look so bare bones that you might think you missed a cataclysmic event that restarted civilization yesterday, and the remaining survivors only had time to build those sorry shacks. So yes, Lucky's Grand Capitals is definitely an improvement to the overworld. Speaking of completely replacing the vanilla structures with something better, Yang has already done that to all the vanilla buildings. His improvements make the buildings look like something from the same era. No longer you will stumble upon a vanilla building and think, those structures must have been one of those proto-houses our ancestors first tried to build and failed. Boy, have we come a long way since then, huh? Dungeons and Taverns adds a lot of small structures like camps from which you can rescue villagers, and taverns that send you on a quest to find various dungeons to conquer. The addition of those smaller structures between big dungeons makes the world feel more immersive, and they guarantee you'll also find their greater structure in an immersive way with the tavern. Now, the next mod, it's not your typical structure mod. The next mod doesn't just generate structures. When dungeons arise, generates mega structures with custom mobs and custom spawners. This mod changed the game in such a way I had to download other mods to adapt to this new playstyle. The next mods, while little, change the game in a big way. One of those mods allows me to self-touch mob spawners and place them anywhere, making most mob resources easily obtainable to fight. But what about the other more valuable and rare resources? With so much to explore and so many enemies to fight, who has time or even wants to dig for ancient debris under the nether? Now you don't have to dig for it like a mole rat, because brutes drop scraps. That's right. And with dungeons arise, brutes are more common, especially in the overworld. So why not take advantage of this and get better rewarded for slaying such a difficult enemy? But that's not the only way you can get netherite. Dungeons Arise also equips enemies with netherite gear that you can get. But you don't need 15 pickaxes and 7 chest plates. That's where Netherite Recycling comes into play. Now you can turn those extra items back into scraps by smelting them. Now, where were we? Ah yes, when Dungeons Arise, a mod so massive it has mod reviews inside its own mod review. And of course, it's massively improving your experience. One would say that it even changes the game. Indisputably so. But we're not done with small mods that change the game in a big way. One Warden for Ancient City does just that. Now there will not be an army of mobs stronger than the Wither rising like weeds everywhere in the Ancient City. This mod makes it closer to what Mojang first showed. This small change makes this whole area feel like a boss battle. And of course, after you slay it, it remains dead. You're free to explore the city at your own leisure. This is closer to what I had in mind when I first saw the Warden, and this mod finally fixes something that should have been the default. Now, I previously mentioned boss battles and cataclysmic events. I shall delay it no longer. This is Ender's Cataclysm. If it's not obvious by now, this mod adds Souls-like boss battles with Souls-like dungeons to this Souls-like mod list. Words can't do it justice, so I'll just call it a game changer and let you judge for yourself. Now let's see what's left. Sounds, you've been hearing them all along. Adds more appropriate new sounds to the old and neglected blocks. It also adds more sounds to the inventory. This is one of those satisfying mods. You know what else you've been hearing all along? Sounds Physics Remastered. A realistic, attenuating, reverberating sounds that not only serve to immerse you, but also help you figure out better where a sound is coming from. Trim effects further diversifies your armor by making each trim give you different effects, making you want to have a unique set of armor for any occasion. Just hammers. There's nothing more tedious than making tunnels. But tunnels are cool, so this tool adds more depth to the mining system. You can now upgrade hammers to destroy a 3x3x3 or even a 5x5x5. Now, mining has a progressing system that doesn't only make you mine faster, it also makes you mine more. Target dummy, something to try all of your new weapons on. Supplementaries. I forgot this wasn't vanilla. Of course it's not. Supplementaries is a huge collection of small changes that add to the immersion of the world and make it feel more consistent. Before we continue, allow me to introduce a mod that I forgot to add to the tier list. Simply Swords. This mod adds a lot of new items, weapon types, and new unique weapons that can be found in all of those structures or just by killing those two bosses. More unique weapons to collect are always an improvement to the game. It reminds me of the Daedric artifacts from Skyrim, and if you don't like a certain weapon style you can change it later with the Epic Fight data pack like I showed you earlier in the video. Now let's see how I can fit this into the tier list. Is there anything left? Oh yeah, Oculus. It's what enables the shaders. I use complementary shaders on potato settings with the Excalibur resource pack. I would rate it higher, but it's a hassle to keep it working. At least it makes the game prettier. You must have noticed the pattern here. Souls like combat, lenient inventory, the world already built ready to explore, fast travel. Those are the most common features among most games. I find this familiarity to be comforting, while others enjoy Minecraft for its unique style. I have installed all the mods that remind me of my favorite games because this is the style that I'm most familiar with. This is what I like and this is how I like to play games. Thanks for watching.